Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Muhammad Afiq Izzuddin bin Muhammad Ashri, metric number 284347, and I'm gonna explain about unlawful dismissal. In an organization, employers must have legal justification for terminating an employee in various areas. Poor performance, misconduct, redundancy, or a valid operational requirement are all acceptable justification. It may be just unfair to fire an employee for failing to complete their work duties or for doing so in a discriminating way. Next, for the case background, the issue happened is whether the charges preferred against the claimant were proved on a balance of probabilities, and if yes, whether the claimant was dismissal was with just cause or excuse. The claimant and her team make a recovery plan on issue that happened at Total Airport Management System, specifically its core switch. The company IT emergency team has declared an IT crisis as it was unable to recover the Total Airport Management System network. The claimant respond, but after being dissatisfied with the claimant response, the company issued a domestic inquiry wherein 4 charges of misconduct were preferred against the claimant. Third, the domestic inquiry panel found the claimant were guilty of the first, second, and fourth charges, but not the third charges. The company then dismissed the claimant with immediate effect. Number 4, the claimant said that she was not guilty of any of the allegation or the charge preferred against her. She said that all of the charge preferred against her were baseless with intention of dismissing her from the employment. And lastly, due to her unfair dismissal, the claimant was awarded a total of 800,000 plus ringgit Malaysia as compensation and back wages.
So my name is Muhammad Haikal bin Muhammad Lady. My metric number is 284421. So next I want to explain about 2.1 is national level. So first compliance and enforcement challenges. Multiply cases of compensation for unlawful dismissal may indicate challenges in compliance with labour laws and enforcement mechanism at the national level. It can lead to a higher level of job insecurity among workers. Employees may fear arbitrary or unjust dismissal, leading to decreased confidence in the labour market. This can result in a reluctance to leave current employment or reluctance to seek new job opportunities, ultimately contributing to higher unemployment rates. So the second one is erode business, confidence and investment. Frequent cases of compensation for unlawful dismissal can erode business confidence and negatively affect investment decision. When business face the risk of significant financial liabilities and legal disputes, it can create uncertainty and deter both domestic and foreign investment. Reduced investment can hinder economic growth and subsequently impact GDP rates at national level. At national level is economic impact and competitiveness. The payment of compensation for unlawful dismissal can have economic implications at the national level. It can impact the financial stability of companies, particularly smaller businesses, which may affect their ability to invest, expand, and create employment opportunities. This, in turn, can influence the overall economic performance and competitiveness of the country. So last but not least is number 4 is poor international reputation. Frequent cases of compensation for unlawful dismissal can harm Malaysian reputation as a business-friendly destination. This can lead to a loss of investor confidence, reluctance to invest in the country, and potential negative impacts on economic growth and development. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Next, my part is implications to Malaysian IR in industrial level. The first one is employee distrust. Unfair dismissal may damage worker-manager relationship. Workers may get angry and speak up if they believe their job security and rights are at stake. This may reduce employee satisfaction, productivity, and workplace issues. The claimant in the case expressing her disappointment by saying AMAHP neglected to consider her 32 years of service before dismissing her. The second one is employer's reputation. The company image can be affected by dismissals that are against the law, such as could get around to employees, possible job applicants, and the general public, which might damage the company's ability to find and keep good workers or harming its brand image. The third one is legal and financial consequences for employers. If a company is found to have dismissed someone unlawfully, it could face legal and financial consequences. This can include giving the impacted workers compensation, as decided by the industrial court, as well as any fine and penalties that are the level officials might give. These financial pressures can hurt the company's image and financial stability. In the case mentioned above, the company has been awarded over 800,000 in compensation and bad wage by the industrial court. The last one is trade union involvement. If the worker in question is a member of the trade union, the union may offer support and legal help during the process. Unions are important because they fight for workers' rights and make sure everyone is treated fairly at work. That's all
Assalamualaikum,
from me.
my
Thank
name
you.
is Nurhafika binti Zaini and my metric number is 284484 and I will make a presentation about the implication to Malaysian industry relation in organizational level. For the first point is aware about workplace environment. Organizations, especially those in the technology field, may be asked to review their IT infrastructure regularly to make sure that their tools and processes are up to date. This case shows how important it is to spend in technology upgrade and repair to keep operation running smoothly and avoid any problems. Next point is consideration of employee contribution. Before deciding to let an employee go, employer may be advised to think about what they have done and how well they have done. To decide if it's fair to fire an employee, organization should look at how long they have worked there and how knowledgeable. The third point is clear policy and procedure. The industrial court found that MAHB had not followed its own policy and procedure when dismissing Maznida. This made it more likely that the court would find her dismissal to be unfair. Organizations should have clear and fair policy and procedure for employee dismissal, and this should be consistently applied to all employees. The last point is culture of trust and respect. Maznida has been a loyal and hardworking employee for 22 years. However, she was dismissed without warning or explanation. This highlights the importance of organization having a culture of trust and respect so that employees feel valued and supported. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
My name is Anis Najwa binti Merusli, metric number 284592. I will explain the conclusion of this article study. The case represents Malaysia Airport Holding Berhad unlawfully fired IT manager Mazdida Muhammad. After a 2019 KLIA technical failure delay flight, the industrial court awarded her almost 800,000. MHB claimed she neglected IT networks. Mazdida said she had worked hard in the company best interest for 20 years. And in 2019, the Transport Ministry found that the company fundamental network switches, which had not been upgraded since 1998, caused the disaster. Mazdida repeatedly proposed upgrading or replacing the company's aging equipment and warned of serious consequences if they failed to do so. Given her 22 years of company service, her dismissal was harsh, unjust and unreasonable. In Malaysia, unlawful dismissal give a lot of implication at any level such as national, industrial and organizational level. At the national level, it decreases compliance of enforcement in a company, erodes business confidence and investment, can drop the overall economic performance and competitiveness, and can harm Malaysia international. At the industrial level, discussing unlawful dismissal give a lot of negative impact on an industry such as damaging employee trust in the company, giving a bad employer reputation, and could face legal and financial consequences. However, if the worker in question is a member of trade union, the trade union involvement will offer help. Lastly, at the organizational level, the implication of law in industrial relation towards unlawful dismissal makes the company aware of workplace environment, increasing consideration of employee distribution towards the company, enhancing clear policies and procedures, and highlighting the importance of culture of trust and respect.